Okay, y'all, I'm here with a goodie. Right, we back again, must-see basketball. To my left, I got Jeffy Banks, AKA the most electrifying Hannibal. If you're familiar with this guy right here, one of the best announcers, commentators ever in EBC and other places and all of that. It's just like, matter of fact, I'm gonna let Hannibal take it away, but I got a question to ask you, Hannibal, just to start it off. What was like your beginning? What took you to becoming a commentator and an announcer? Because I know you brought that energy and everything to the EBC. I just want to know, like, what was your beginning?
Quite frankly, I started, well, it first started in the mind. You know, first you have to have a thought before you go and do something. You have to have a thought.
Yeah.
I imagined being an announcer, and I know what it took to be one. And I guess it started with me just basically critiquing, or from the side observing and critiquing at the same time the announcers that were always there. I always watched them, observed them, and I used to mock one of my fellow, should I say, the resident announcer from the neighborhood. I used to mock him.
Oh, okay.
So when ironically, one time I come from a game just like a spectator, like everyone else.
Yeah.
I go back downtown to my neighborhood and just mock, saying some of the things that he was saying was so funny. I come to my block, and then there's the little kids, shorties, basically playing basketball on a crate. So I basically started mocking the commentator. I picked up a cone, one of those construction cones, lifted up, used it as a makeshift megaphone, and was basically repeating what I saw my fellow resident announcer doing. So I would say things like funny little things. I like the way you say parents. He'll say parents. Parents, get your kids. Kids, find your parent. Parent, I love that. I should copy that. Where he say bueno, no bueno, just little things I saw. So I come out calling myself basically mocking him, and while doing it, didn't realize I'm sounding pretty good. So I pick up, for example, who was the two? It was my man Tut. Tut had the wigworm, so I was calling Tut the Wiggity, the Wiggity Mac, because I remember Crisscross just came out with Jump, the Wiggity Mac. So I was calling him the Wiggity, because he had the wigworm. Yeah. I was calling him the Wiggity Mac. Over to the Wiggity. Wiggity over to the Nutty Professor. I was calling him AKA Buddy Love. Yeah. So I'm doing that just joking, and they really thought it was really good. I'm mocking. Yeah. So they was like, yo, you should think about doing that. So let's just put that in my head. I'm like, So what brings me to answer your question, I gave you the original form. Now what ended up happening at the EBC was, I was one of the guys, one of the biggest fans who would always get there early enough to have a seat, and I would always bother Greg, one of those guys, get a VIP like everybody else. So if you get a VIP. Yeah. Greg finally gave me a VIP, and I'm like, okay, I'm a VIP. I'm just like anybody else here. I'm like typical, fan. I'm like, I'm useful. I'd rather be useful than useless. I can do something. Yeah. I was in great shape at the time working out. And I was like, hey, maybe put me on the security team. Oh, we got all the security we need. I know all that because Gus know you wouldn't be able to tell me nothing. Like I was just one of those guys that's not gonna take orders. I'm gonna give orders. Okay, we ain't got no job for you as a security. So what do you have? They said we have you can either sweep the floor, pick up the garbage, or hang the banners. I'll hang the banners. So my first job at the EBC was hanging banners.
Oh, wow, okay.
One day, it just so happened we had a really big day, a big game, extraordinary game. And I guess the announcers at the time, the MCs at the time, created this beef about getting paid like everybody else, like every other announcer. Yeah. Or every other employee, should I say. Yeah. Everybody get paid when everybody get paid. They said, no, we are the stars of the show. We should get all our money up front. Yeah. Like, where they do that at? So they basically went with trying to hold Greg hostage. They was like, we wait till we having a really big game. Yeah. They chose that time to say, yo, you gonna give us all our money? Greg said, no, I'm paying you like everybody. They went on strike right there at the game. So left Greg, I have a game to do. My MCs went on strike. They said, who do you have on the staff that can come? He said, now normally the resident MC, which wasn't there. That's to show you this is God's plan, man. The resident MC who would normally, and they've done that before, I ain't working, and he just get the residency to fill in. The resident MC was not available at the time. I'm gonna say he was away at school. Y'all get what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about, where he was. Yeah. but he wasn't available. So they's like, who do you have that can maybe just, he said, wow, I got one guy with a nice voice, but I never really gave him a shot. And he's like, fuck your Hannibal on, we going, huh? I'm like, I never got on the mic in front of a whole bunch of people. Like, you trying to embarrass me here? And Ronnie D, rest in peace to Ronnie G. Ronnie D was his fellow MC when they was in the crew. Ronnie passed away. Ronnie kept coming over saying, yo, Greg said do the game. I'm like, I'm not doing no game, bro. I don't know how to do no game. He said, Greg said, man, if you do it, I'll sweeten up the money, man. I'll give you double, I'll give you some of they pay, the ones who walked there, and your pay. When he said that, I was like, I gotta do something. I still was nervous. This was back when the Rucker was way relaxed. They let you bring your drinks in and all that in. So I went over, somebody had some Tiger Balm. I took one shot that doubled up, a couple of medicine pulls, and next thing you know, I had courage. And then it helped that I was familiar with the players. I was familiar with Losing Isaiah. I was familiar with Puda the Gangster. I was familiar with them already from the streets. So I was like, oh, I don't even really need a list. I'm gonna start this game without a list.
Yeah.
So I went on there. I went without the list. I started, and then of course I was shaky at first. But by the second half, I got really comfortable. And then before you know it, the star was born. I took the ball and didn't run with it, hauled ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And another question, right? Because I noticed, right, when I used to go to the games, you had like a different flair. A different flair. Like, you know, you would come with the wrestling thing and all of that. Like, you was like just different and all of that. And I know it was eye-catching and all that. What brought you to that idea? Because you was really different from all the other commentators and announcers. How you end up creating that type of flair?
I have to give it to the brothers who basically I was the lead. I did a documentary called On Hollow Ground.
Yeah.
Now during that documentary, I was explaining to the guys at TNT that I was a big fan of hip hop. I'm also a big fan of wrestling.
Yeah.
Ironically, at that time, TNT was basically used to broadcast Nitro. Yeah. So they was being that the broadcasters on TNT, they were familiar with those guys there, telling them that Hannah was a big wrestling fan, whatever. So it just so happened, ironically, that, and then it's so funny that, see, God is in control of everything. And it's funny, today is Sunday, we doing this. Yeah. God is the ultimate director and producer of life. Yeah. What God wants is what it's gonna be. It gotta be what God wants. That's why I say, anything that's in the future for me, I don't want it if he don't want it for me. God wanted this for me. So he made sure people, that's why your resident MC wasn't there to come to get on the mic. You know, everything happened the way God lined this up. You know what I mean? I end up, so like I was saying, the idea of, I knew I had to be bigger now, and I met Triple H downtown at the Wrestling Hall of Fame. And he said to me then, you have to be bigger and better than anybody else. You can't be the standard guy, because you got everybody just talking on doing that. Yeah. You gotta make it incredible to hear and extraordinary to look at. You gotta be the vision, also the sound. You have to be sound and vision. That's where you get entertainment from. You gotta have, you gotta have that kind of spark to make people just want to remember you. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, I'm asking suggestions on what should I do. He said, you want to do whatever you have to do to get their attention. I said, I don't want them to dislike me. I don't want to come out and make people who don't like me. He said, what are you running for office? So then you want them to dislike you, because if they dislike you, they remember you. You want them to remember you, not forget you. Make them never forget you. You the first one doing this one. So you want to come out with if you want to come out with a couple of beautiful ladies on your arm and talk about how good you look and how good you smell and how every woman wants you and how everybody envious to be like you, if that's enough to grab attention, do that. Yeah. Now, and don't be afraid. And here's one thing y'all always held with me when he said this. He said, before you go out there and grab that mic in front of them people, if you go out there and you bullshitting, they gonna know you bullshitting. If you go out there and unsure yourself, they gonna know you unsure yourself. And that crowd will pick you apart. Go out there and conduct. This is why I say I'm the MC, that's a conductor. My microphone is a conductor's tool. I control what happens. I don't anticipate, I participate. I dictate what goes on with that microphone. A ball player can come up and be like, no, you're gonna do better. You better pick that ball up, because your defense is about to steal and run away. Cookies, you about to have cookies and milk in here if you out here bullshitting. So that I'm a conductor. I know that already. I'm other than, that's why ain't nobody touching my stuff. I'm the best in the business. I'm not only soothing to your eyes, but I'm soothing to your ear. And I'm the most creative out of all of them.
Yeah, that brings me to like my next question. So like when you was commentating the games at EBC, my bad, I know you've seen a lot of great games. You've seen a lot of great players, and any game stand out to you, or
Wow.
do I could or imagine like a lot of the players that got nicknames. Do you remember some of the guys you gave nicknames to?
I remember a lot of them. I remember all of my best nicknames. Lonnie Harrell.
Okay, go.
I named Lonnie Harrell the first time he came straight from DC. When he showed up and showed out his control, the way he was able to dribble the ball, and his jump shot was flawless. Yeah. He wasn't afraid of nobody, no competition. What he went and showed out there and did, I just came to my mind. Prime objective. He became the prime objective.
Oh, wow.
You got, I forgot my man government name, but I named him the pharmacist.
The pharmacist, yeah.
I named the pharmacist. I named one of my better names, one of my best names, and may he rest in peace, is Troy Jackson, who was originally the Q Borough Tahoe. But when I sat down and noticed how majestic, how pure, what extraordinary person that Miss Jackson raised.
Yeah.
She raised men.
Yeah.
Big shout to my main, big shout to Mark Action Jackson, #1. And rest in peace to my main man and one of the best nicknames I ever created, Troy the Escalade Jackson. He was way better than a Tahoe. He was way better than a Wrangler. He was way better than a bullshit truck. He's the Escalade. And he's a class act. And he's one player I can say this about. He's the first player that I can say besides Jim Ice that I can put my life in their hands and my children's life in his hands. Oh, wow. That's the kind of man he is. You understand? Forget the ball player, the kind of man he is. Troy Jackson, Mama Jackson, be so proud in heaven of the beautiful children you gave us. I thank you for that. Troy Jackson, let's think of a couple other nicknames I can come up with. I came up with so many. After these messages, Irv Oblong, Mr. I'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
His first part of the nickname was after these messages, we'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
Mr. Irv became I'll be right back. Big shout to I'll be right back. Big shout to my man Can't Stop, Won't Stop, David Temples. David Hawkins, excuse me, from Temple University. Big shout to you, if you're looking at this.
And the main guy we talk about, God bless him, rest in peace.
You going there?
Who is this guy that was the best that ever did it on every level? Every level.
When I talk about this man, I gotta come up out this road now, because I gotta show this, I gotta show his jersey.
Yeah.
This is my buddy and my friend. I'm not gonna get emotional. I'm not. I promise I won't. Okay. There are times that I wish I could wake up and it'd be a terrible nightmare, you know? There are actually times I even go as far as to really blame myself. You know, I feel like he met me and maybe I was bad luck, you know? I'm like, why? How could that happen, you know? He was informed of everything about me, you know? Because when he came around me, it was like he knew me, you know? So when he made those statements about me, MC Hannibal, that's my man right there. And he said, he the one that come up with all, that's my man, that right there, you know? That right there, that lingers forever. I might get that in a quote when I put the tattoo of him on my arm right here, him and his daughter. The MC, Hannibal, that's my man right there. I was told by certain colleagues that made me not one of them no more. Now you automatically just been immortalized, you know? My man, that's my man right there. So when more people from the record I did with Cameron, Boy, a lot of people just recognize me. I just say, what up, Boy? And then you got people who just identify me as, that's Kobe man. Yeah. That's Kobe man, which is something I'm proud of, you know? Big shout to Shaquille O'Neal. I still got Shaq #2. Shaq, look out for me, that's my boy. Big shout, Lakers always got love for us, that's all. That explains why Kevin Durant was cool with me. We went to church together, and then he ain't even know me. And I called him one time, I don't know you, man, but how I get your number, motherfucker? You don't know me. Why you give me your phone number, faggot? Yeah, I'm saying it to you, and I ain't scared of you, DC sniper, easy sniper. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but that's funny. That's phony. That's phony, and that's ring chasing too. Go figure.
Yeah.
But that said, yeah. So Kobe. It was like he knew me before we really met. You know, it was very comforting rapping with him. The conversation we had before we got in the park wasn't even really about basketball. It was basically about shoes. I remember I was telling them how they used to put shoes on kids, babies, and they used to put the steel ball on. If you had bow leg, they used to have the steel ball on the shoes.
Yeah.
And he said, and he looking at me like, now you gotta remember, I'm quite a few years older than Kobe. So Kobe was like, huh, did that? I said, yeah, your father ain't tell you about this, that. He said, well, I couldn't imagine. I wouldn't put that on those shoes for my kids. I said, I'm glad my mother ain't put them on me. I wasn't that bow-legged anyway. But you know, that was our conversation. And then we would converse about things like have his number, and I used to do little dumb fan shit like I'll be with somebody, and just to prove that I got Kobe number, I would call him. And then one day we had a conversation. He said, Hannibal, you a star like us, bro. You don't have to meet, every time you meet somebody, you gotta call one of us to prove the number, you got a number. Stop doing that, because now you're becoming a fan too. I gave you my number because you're my man, not my fan.
Yeah.
Okay? And Shaq told me kind of the same thing, you know, like, don't keep calling me. When my sister passed, Shaq called me FaceTime. I went on Facebook and told me that I gotta be the all-star of my family now. You know about all-stars, they gotta play hurt. You hurt now, but you gotta still play. I got a crazy elaboration game. I just keep talking on.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm sorry, Mouse.
But no, that's cool. But so we talking about Kobe Bryant.
Yes, Kobe Bryant.
And the nickname that you gave Kobe Bryant and the EBC.
See, was Lord of the Rings. It started off as 3 rings because I said him because he had 3 rings. And I'm like, actually, when he first started playing, I was calling him the Final Frontier. No, my first original name was Kobe Wan Kenobi. You know what I'm saying? From of course, Star Wars, of course.
Yeah.
But I just thought Kobe Wan Kenobi, I was calling him that, and then I was like, the Final Frontier. I was calling him the Final Frontier, and then I changed, then I started calling, the time is now, the Final Frontier, 3 rings, and then I said, hold on. One of my favorite movies, Lord of the Rings. He just got 3 chips, he just got hit. The better name would be fitting to him would be Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that one definitely
I like
stuck.
that.
Lord of the Rings. I like
Lord
that
of the
one too.
Rings. So he was called Lord of the Rings. That's his original name. So before he metamorphosed into the Black Mamba, he was first Lord of the Rings. Know that right here, number 8. When he became 24, it became the Black Mamba at 24. Ironically, we got sneakers coming out right next month, the Lord of the Rings sneakers. Thank you, Nike. Thank you, Nike. I'll be hollering at you. We got a commercial coming up or something. I know we do.
So, moving to the next one. So, like the games, did you have any memorable games that you watched that stood out in your head? Like,
goodness.
You know,
yes.
that you got caught into, like, say, oh man, this game is like.
Yes. Oh my God, it's the first game to come to my mind, Mouse. I swear, this is the very first game to come to my mind. I'll never forget this. It was one of those days where you got the rain and looked like it's cloudy, it's raining, and it stopped. And is it gonna stop enough for us to play? And it's held up enough just for the game, and let us. One of those games. It was. We had Ghetto Boys, which was a team coached by Mousy.
Okay.
Mousy was coaching the Ghetto Boys. Ghetto Boys opponents, Absolute Power. Goldo, heavyset Spanish guy, was their coach. So we had Goldo with Absolute Power against Mousy with Ghetto Boys. I'll never forget him. The Ghetto Boys had on red and black. Absolute Power had on blue and yellow. I'll never forget that game, bro.
It's a great game.
It was, and it looked like, and here's the crazy thing, the Ghetto Boys was winning most of the game. It looked like they were gonna win, comfortably.
Yeah.
One player came in there, got suited up for Absolute Power and changed that game. Who was that player? You know who that player was?
Who?
James Speedy Williams.
Shout out Speedy.
Big shout Speedy Williams, my boy. Mr. Above the Rim. You saw him in that too as an extra.
Yeah.
I think Speedy was in, above the rim.
Above the rim. Yeah.
Big shout to Speedy. And big shout to Speedy. And Speedy one time, and I asked a mean ass thing.
My guy.
Big shout to Speedy.
Yeah.
Speedy hit me up with had a nice chick with him one time that they looked out for me. Big shout to, I don't want to say her name on here because I don't want to, she might be married right now.
Yeah.
But she was some good ass. Thank you, Speedy, my man. But back to what I was saying. Speedy came in that game, and Speedy one of those players that all he can do on the court, you can see what he do physically, but he's an antagonist too. Yeah. He can talk to you, he can talk you out your game. And I saw that happening when the score was getting closer and closer. I said, Speedy talking these niggas out the game, bro. Why with 6 seconds on the clock, Remember, we trying to get this game over with before the rain come down. Because it was raining a little bit. It stopped. The rain stopped. But it's not enough to wet the court. It kept the game really enough. Why? With no. It was 4 seconds on the clock. I remember. Two click to 4 left. Winning shot. Speedy get the ball. Shot it off, running off the backboard. Win it for the win. And went in. As soon as, when I tell you, when the ball second it went through the hole, the sky, like, boom! And I mean, it was like God waited for that last shot. God said, I'm gonna hold up this rain until y'all finish this game. The second the ball went through the hoop, when I tell you, Mouse, it said the lightning strike, and when I tell you the rain came pouring down, like a rainstorm. I mean, right the second it just flat. It was like Hollywood. Hollywood did that.
So he really showed that he was
Absolute
really
Power
speedy.
won that game. Speedy is really speedy.
He's real speedy.
I'll say, but Speedy, here's another game. And actually, this is real funny because this was, what was the name of the other team? And Cross Country was on that team against Flavor, against Jay-Z and them.
Oh, okay.
Jay-Z and them doing this is in the Gaucho's gym. Why Cross Country came in there for the other team and ran Jay-Z and them ass out of there, bro. Wow. That was one of those games where they was doing their thing. If I recall, was that the game when Lamar Odom played and did the skip through the leg? That the game? It could have been that game.
That game in Gaucho Gym. Yeah.
I believe it was that game, if I'm not mistaken. Cross Country came in there and ran them niggas out the gym, B.
Shout out Cross Country.
Big shout to Cross Country. That's my boy, man. I took a picture of Cross Country a couple years ago in Kingdom. That's my guy. Big shout to him, man. A lot of love to him. Cool. Yeah. Glad I gave him. That's another incredible nickname I gave. Cross Country.
And so, how about this player? Like, he's one of my favorite, AKA the Bone Collector.
Oh my goodness gracious! You talking about now? You basically talking about the greatest handle in the history of street ball. Period. I don't care what nobody say. And I'm talking. That's everybody. I'm going with rest in peace, Ali Mo. Big shout to Booger. Big shout to Future, Shane, the dribbling machine. There's a lot of guys with crazy handle. It goes back from Doogie, MVP. We talking handle, Todd Dangerous. We talking handles beyond hands. Rest in peace, Tip Dog, never handled. Big shout out, speaking of handler, Todd the handler. Big shout to him. All those handles ain't nobody seeing Larry Johnson.
Larry Williams.
Excuse me, Larry Williams. That was big shout out to Larry Johnson, LJ, grandmama. But Mr. Larry Williams, AKA the Bone. I should remember that because Corey Williams, rest in peace, C Homicide. Rest in peace, C Homicide. Mr. Williams himself, Mr. Larry Williams, AKA the Bone Collector. The best name, the best handle in the building. He got, his handle is in high definition, 3D and in high definition. Yes, big shout out to Special Effects, my boy Ryan. Big shout out, that's another nickname I gave out. Big shout out to Special Effects.
Yeah, because I know you got a chance to see a lot of, be a part of a lot of those games. Because I know it's like a lot of the commentators and announcers, not only they play their part, because they hype up the game, and they hype up the players. So it's like it goes hand in hand, and it makes the game more exciting and more interesting. Because I know when I go to them games and watch sometimes I get caught up in watching the commentators and the announcers and all that, because they so good at what they do. And what I always gotta say, they keep it street ball. That's what I love, street ball. So it's just like, it's unbelievable. So, and I watch when the commentators talk and all that. It seemed like it put a battery in the player's back.
It does. And it's so funny you brought that up because rest in peace, my man John Strickland, AKA the original Panda Bear, AKA the franchise, AKA the Reanimator. That was his last name before he left. He said right there on NBA TV, man, he said, Hannibal, you're the best announcer, period. There's something about when you call in a game, I play so much better. It's something about an animation that befuddles me. It's something about your charismatic force. I can just feel it through the mic. You have an authoritative figure over the mic. It's the whole atmosphere changes. I feel like as far as MCs and commentators, I'm the Six Flags of everybody else, bro. The rest of them is Coney Island, King's Dominion, all that. And I'm Six Flags, you know what I'm saying? They can't fuck with me. None of them can fuck with me. I'm the reason it started. I'm the reason niggas putting on wigs, putting on outfits. I started them doing that. Niggas saw me, he saw my animation, my energy, and they couldn't match. Not only I'm incredible, I'm sound incredible, but I look extraordinary. They knew that. I used to have this saying. I said, I maybe not be the best announcer, but I'm damn sure the best looking. That was just a joke I used to put out there. But for the record, it's because I got my ear to the street. But it's because I am Harlem. You know, the rest of them, they aren't. You see, notice how you came on 125th Street on a Sunday by the State Building in front of a business, extraordinary business, by the way. We be back here Tuesday, and we got the best jerk everything, jerk chicken. We got fish, all this you see, oxtails, curry goat. All this is on the menu. This is the best Jamaican food on 125th Street. Anybody that tasted it know that already. It's the reason you see me here. You won't see no other announcers, because Harlem you have to be comfortable here, and it has to be a two-way comfort. You got to be comfortable enough to sit in front of the State Building. So they're not going to do that because they're not comfortable. Now Harlem got a way of making you feel comfortable and uncomfortable. Obviously, they're not comfortable. Why aren't you comfortable? Because this is a kingdom fit for the king. That's why. They're not comfortable because of that. You won't see no other announcers. They shopping. If you see them here, they buying some sneakers and they getting the hell out of here. They're not going. This Sunday, this third, look behind you, there's a thing, summer stage. We got a stage right behind you, and we have live band here every Thursday. They haven't been here, and I'm sure they ain't been here in front of here in the last, since Obama been in office. You know what I'm saying? They haven't been here since Bill Clinton been in office. How about that? The other announcers ain't comfortable hanging on 125th Street. If 125th Street loved you, you would love it back. But they don't love you. They love me. Here's enough. I'm gonna say one thing about this too. I'm probably a whole lot like this because since the visionary and the first commissioner, Greg Marius, may he rest in peace, passed away, he would have what we call a humbling or how would he call it? A controlling, humbling leash on me. You know, I couldn't say how I really felt because he didn't want me to. He wanted me, in other words, you can't, even though you might be better than everybody, don't say you are. But now I'm saying I am. I said to a colleague one time, Mouse, a colleague, I ain't gonna say who it was, and I'm not giving no names, I'm not giving y'all no light. Get your own light. I said to him one day, I said, yo, man, come on, we stars. He looked at me and said, I ain't no star. Know what I was supposed to say to him? What? You motherfucking right, you not. I am. But I said, yo, we all stars. He not no star. If he was a star, you'll see him everywhere. He'll go around.
Because he was one of my favorites, because I also like to see him on the mic, because it's like, it's mixed with the game and the commentator at the same time. It just bring it as a whole. Like it solidified the whole park. So that's why Mouse. I enjoy, watching you being on the mic. And
I appreciate that, Mouse.
How you feel about because I know like sometimes like you still do it whenever you get a chance. How you feel about these upcoming announcers now, or how can they harness their game better, like far as being on the mic or whatever?
They have to totally, truly, believe in themselves, like to a tremendous point, like what they doing, believe what they doing is good, and put logic so they can explain the reason behind certain things. Show some originality and don't be afraid of your own originality or what people may say about your originality. That's the thing. You don't feel off him. Okay, if he's here's a perfect example. You got if somebody calling themselves the voice or something, do away with voice. Okay, you the voice or something. I'm not gonna be the voice enough, and I'm gonna be something else. If my name was Jamel, my name would be Jamel Rockwell. They would call me Jamel, ain't hard to tell. I would come out there, it's your boy Jamel Emel, and then the crowd would go, ain't hard to tell. That's originality, that's creativity. You know what I'm saying? No, you the voice of this, and I'm gonna be the voice of now here's the thing, we both from the same borough. If you the voice of Harlem, then I'm gonna be the voice of my city. What city is I'm not a voice of? If you the voice of Harlem, right? Yeah. I'm the voice of my city. What city is that?
Harlem.
So then that's two voices of Harlem.
Yeah.
Then you got another nigga. See, I know where that comes from. Some people just want juniors, like they wanted to be, because that's how they live. In other words, I don't have enough originality to stay out and be relevant, so I'm going to take my name and put it on some other new nigga's name so they can be my juniors. I can see why you might want to do that. When you ain't got it, it's what you're born with. What I have, you don't go to school to get. You either have it or you don't have it, and that's it. That's it. I'm the best in the business, and I know that. I know because and what makes me better than everybody else, the level of creativity. You don't think, you scared to dare to be creative. See, I don't want to, I gave a nickname called the Prime Object. I'm not calling nobody else Prime something else. If we got True Warrior, they ain't no more True. The True Warrior. True essence? Where's your creativity? And these are people, mind you, who went to college. These are educated people who ain't got no creativity. That's what I mean, you can't buy this shit. I'm the best in the business. You got a degree or you went to college and you don't got nothing else to creative with? You ain't got no other type of creativity?
Creativity.
Go figure.
So what's besides the EBC, where's some of the other places that you commentated at?
Well, I'm currently actually, it's so ironic you say that.
Oh wow.
I have a game I've been going up to the big shot to Jerry Stackhouse. We basically put the money behind what's going on up the labor
Shout
of love.
out Jerry Stackhouse.
Big shout to JS, man. Big shout Jerry Stackhouse. Big shout to Labor of Love. Big shout to the Labor of Love congregation up in the Poconos, East Stroudsburg, New York. Big shout to Pastor Charles Smith, Dr. Robin Schneider, and my man Ian Schneider. They got an incredible thing, and I've been going up there for the last 14 years. That's when you know you're good, when they pay you to come other places.
Yeah.
When you just subject to stay on, how good are you? Who's hiring you? Big shout to my man Keith Bullock for the Tennessee Titans. When they fly your ass somewhere and put you up in a hotel by yourself, then you know you're good.
Yeah.
Or they're not flying y'all nobody. You're not booked anywhere else. So if you're so good, why are you not booked? So I'm booked because I'm that good. You understand me? And I'm very expensive. And that's the reason why I'm not booked everywhere. People like Under Armour, Adidas can afford to pay me. When you got these local jokers, they can't. They can't pay me because I'm Kobe Bryant's friend. I'm extremely expensive. Go figure.
Yeah. Excuse me. You got any questions for Hannibal? Or
Big shout to Kobe. As you can see on my feet, I got some Kobe. And if I ain't got Kobe sneakers on, I got Kobe socks. See what that say? Mamba mentality. Look. Mamba mentality.
Yeah,
see that?
You got the socks.
Got the socks right there, baby.
Socks.
Yes.
Proof right
Big
there.
shout to Kobe.
Facts.
Big shout to him. Big shout to Kobe.
Yeah.
See that? That's all I wear. I got more Kobes than the average people. I got all the Kobes. You know what I mean? Big shout to Michael Jordan. No. Big shout to Kobe, like I said. Big shout to Mike. But no, big shout to Mike. Mike came to Rucker, so big shout to Michael Jordan. I ain't gonna front. MJ. And Michael's middle name is Jeffrey. You know my original name is Jeffrey Banks.
Yeah.
Big shout to MJ. But other than that, big shout to Shaquille O'Neal. That's my main man. Love you, Shaq. You know that. And everything has been an adventure, man. You know, you want to talk about some other celebrities that's been in the park? You want to Big shout to Gabrielle Union.
Question.
Sure.
You had to name your top 5 EBC players that you see play.
Wow. Top 5. You said EBC players. Just EBC players. No old school, not going old, just regular EBC players. Okay. Number 1. Ron Matthias.
Shout out Term.
The Terminator. Number 1. Number 2, I'm going to have to go Master Rob.
Shout out Master Rob.
Number 3, I'm going to have to go my godson. In a short time, even though he ain't had a long career, but he's been very impressive. That would be Lonnie Harrell, a.k.a. the Prime Objective.
Prime Objective.
Okay. I got 2 left, right?
Yep.
Now, the other 2, I got to say it because it's my homeboy from the hood. I can't go against the grain. I'm going to go with both of my homeboys from the hood. Well, one number 1 from the hood. That would be Adrian Walton, a.k.a. a whole lot of game.
A whole lot of game. Shout out.
I got to throw him in. And last but not least, may he rest in peace. I got to go with Troy Jackson, the Escalade, man.
Escalade.
That's my man. I love Troy. Troy is a humanitarian. Troy was an incredible dude. He's one guy that I wish was still here. You know I had to give my top 5, and there's a lot that I missed, and I'm sorry I did, because I love people like Pooter the Gangster, Losing Isaiah, High Octane, The Circus, oh my God, I'll Be Right Back. You name him. Just a whole lot of people that I love that I can't mention, but I had to put 5, and I had them my 5.
Yeah, it's a good 5.
Oh, no, I got a big shout out to the best stock gladiator, Biz Hayward, a.k.a. half man, half amazing,
half
yo.
Man. Shout out Half Man.
Big shout to Half Man. I'm sorry, Half Man. You know we done been on the road. Big shout to your ex-lady at the time. I don't know if y'all, well, it is what it is. Big shout to her. Life goes on, man. I had to say that. Yeah. Anything else, guys?
Yeah.
Let's talk.
So,
you want to talk about what Kamora Lee Simmons was there, with Gabrielle Union, with Jill Jones, Faison Love. Y'all want to talk about them? They were there. Big shout to Faison Love, man. Big Worm. Big shout to Faison. Big shout to Morris Chestnut. Big shout to Gabrielle Union. Gabby, baby, love you. I should have shot my shot, and you've been with me instead of D-Way. Let me stop. A big shout to Gabrielle Union. Big shout to Kamora Lee Simmons. You know what I'm saying? Big shout to her. She was very, very sweet, came in the park. There are certain people that came there and they were really, really good people, man.
Yeah, quick question too. Yeah, because I noticed, like a lot of people was coming to the EBC, like, you know, like a lot of celebrities.
Uh-huh.
You can remember a few, like,
Yeah,
I
oh
think
man.
I remember Leon
Mary
came
J.
one
Yes,
time,
Leon
yeah.
is my boy. We hung out. Wow.
Yeah. You remember that came, like.
Leon from the 5 Heartbeats. Yo,
Yeah.
Leon, Mr. Leon. We hung out a little bit afterwards. Oh, why can I? And right now in heaven, my man, like, I know you better shout me. I took you to dinner. Big shout to Lou Gossett Jr., man.
Lou Gossett Jr.
Lou Gossett Jr. was on the phone with me. He was in California. Yeah. My man at the time had me on the phone with Lou. I'm like, Lou said, Hannibal, I'm coming to hang out with you. I'm in Cali now doing such and such and such. When I come to Harlem, I'm taking you to dinner. Now I'm thinking he's just saying that he's never gonna show up.
Yeah.
He finally said, your man is here. Lou Gossett Jr. came. Me and Lou Gossett ate first night, Amy Roof's. Second night, Sylvia's. He paid twice. I had a beautiful Arab girl that was my chick at the time too.
Oh, okay.
Mean. Big shout to Lou Gossett Jr. Big shout to Kamora Lee Simmons. Big shout to Morris Chestnut. Big shout to Leon. Big shout to Jill Jones from Girlfriends. Oh, she was so sweet. I should have shot my shot at Jill Jones. I should have. Extraordinary, man. Did what you call him come there? French bought Miss Kardashian. Yes, he did. He brought one of them Kardashians up in there.
And then David Stern came one time.
David Stern and Big
Bill
rest
Clinton,
in peace to the original commish, man. David Stern brought Bill Clinton, a former president of the United States, to the Louis Farrakhan. Like, to have these kind of people come into a basketball tournament, you have the former chief of staff, you have the former president of the United States at a basketball tournament, spinning the ball on his hand, putting his arm around his sexy lady. You had Bill Clinton doing that, yes. You had Fat Joe Chain around David Stern.
Wow, that's
like,
crazy.
This is a tournament that you know what? I want to say this too. That's the first tournament that had a basketball court made by Reebok and flew the court to South Beach. Like, it blew my mind to get to South Beach and see our wooden floor on the sand with a bubble over top of it. They took our whole floor out of Harlem and took it to the sands of South Beach. You mean our tournament is that prestige? Our tournament is so prestigious that Mark Buchanan, Pele, the ones who make the Pele, they made leather jackets. I have one now. I had two. My uncle stole one, but I got the last one. Pele made leathers for the EBC. I had somebody talking about King Towers. They ain't never make no jackets for King Towers. They ain't make no wooden floor in King Towers. Huh? What president any time came to King Towers?
So it's fitting for that tournament to be named
Entertainers Basketball Classic,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah,
yes, that's why we're known as the EBC, because like Greg say, we aim to entertain. We don't watch the competition. We are the competition.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I know a lot of NBA players came down to play. What were some of the players that came and showed out? Who did show out?
Future. And I like that because you had, and I'm glad. That was a great question, Sean. You got the best questions. I want to talk about how, and this I always talk about Hunter College. You had a player by the name of Junie Sanders, AKA I nicknamed him General Electric. GE bring good things to living. He bring good things to life. Junie Sanders head to head against Jerry Stackhouse, and Junie gave him the business inside of Hunter College.
Wow.
Yes, he did. I've also seen, well, we got a video footage of the Future trying to give TV franchise the business. Bang the ball, put it behind his head. One thing I give about, you know who else we don't talk about? Jamal Tinsley, the abuser. You got to talk about Jamal Tinsley, B. They don't talk about my man. Yes, you got to talk about my boy. The abuser, the abuser was doing my man. One time, abuser did one of my man so bad, like I felt ashamed, yo. I don't want to say who he did it to, because that's my real close personal friend. And that shit hurt my feelings, yo. Like I was happy that, and I'm gonna tell you how much he was kicking. I passed the mic to a fellow commentator. That's how much he was giving my man the business, yo. When I seen Mel do that shit, I said, Mel the abuser. Why you abuse? I looked and sat my ass down and gave the mic. I think I gave it to Booby or somebody. I can't, Hannibal, you gotta, I said, I can't do the rest of this game. It's prejudice. I'm gonna have prejudice on the mic and you're gonna hear it. So I can't believe what he was doing, yo. Mel, and know who else? Know who else was abusing somebody too? Nate Robinson. When Nate Robinson showed you, there's a difference for those who do this and those who play this. You know what I mean? People who play basketball, there are people who do basketball. Nate Robinson does basketball, yo. You saw the difference. When you playing a player with a high level, high IQ player that's really get a lot of reverence on what they do really good, and that player is normally out there dominating, and that player is getting dominated, it's like, whoa. That shit blew my mind, yo. He was doing it to one of my favorite players. Matter of fact, it's funny, I didn't name him in that top 5, nigga. But big shout out to Kareem Reed, the best kept secret.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Kareem. AKA the infamous. Big shout, because Kareem actually, and let me even give another shout out to Kareem. Kareem is instrumental on the reason why I work in the Poconos now. Kareem, the pastor up there, Pastor Charles Smith, I call him White Daddy. Pastor Charles Smith, he was pastoring the Kareem. You know, he was Kareem's pastor. And he saw me and he was like, yo, Kareem, do you know this guy? Kareem said, that's Hannibal, that's my man. He said, I mean, you know him? Is that Kareem? Like, that's my man. Like, Hannibal's my boy. I can call him right now. Yeah. So you think he'll come up here and do that? He said, one thing about Hannibal knows his worth. But if you negotiate and make him comfortable, all he got to do is be comfortable. You know, he's not, that's all. Just be fair. And the way Hannibal comfortability is this. If you can't meet that, then you're really cheap. Like he's a true Cancerian. Please from the heart, yo. It's easy to please him, yo. He ain't you better have this, no, that's not who he is. If y'all gotta understand and you meet that, and he's gonna give you a performance like you wouldn't believe. So once you make him comfortable, take care of him, you're gonna have the world. So this gentleman came, and it's so funny, when I first saw him, he scared the shit out of me. I was happened to be in Rucker Park, game over. So you know how you feel, you do a game, everybody leaving. I'm sitting there, my shorty there, see this white man with a white lady. Now first thing, when you see 2 white people in a park, you might be thinking police, like what the hell? And then they look in regular dress, I'm like, what the hell going on? They waited till the game over, he came over to me and said, when the first thing he said to me, made me comfortable, he said, you know Kareem Reed? When he said that, I was like, something happened to Kareem? No, he's fine. Actually, I'm the pastor for him. My name is Pastor Charles Smith. And he told me about you, and he said, you guys are buddy. I was wondering what you just did. I love what you do out here. Do you think you could do that for me? I have a home tournament up in the Poconos, and you come on up. In a couple of weeks, I got the championship, and I would like to pay you to come up there and stay the weekend for us, and we do this, that. And that happened 14 years ago. I've been going up there every year. And then Jerry Stackhouse became their backer. So, because I noticed 4 years ago, the money got a whole lot better. I'm like, damn, this is a bigger check. He's like, well, thanks to Jerry Stackhouse. Right. So big shout out to Jerry Stackhouse. I love
shout
that
out
guy.
Jerry.
Anyway.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and you know, I'm glad you took time out, you know, your busy schedule to have a sit down with us. And
Thank
you know,
you.
we here to give you your flowers because you definitely one of the people that put it on for the city.
Thank you.
You know, especially in that basketball sector.
Yeah.
And the EBC, you, like I said, you was one of my favorites commentators.
I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And like we said, we here to give you your flowers.
I appreciate it.
Very much deserving of them.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you.
And
Thank
just
you,
keep
guys.
on. But if you have to pass on the gem to the younger generations, what would you pass on to them? You know,
I'm gonna send this first and foremost to one guy's a little younger than me. He started. He's not the youngest, the young, but he's new in the world, and I believe he has an extraordinary future.
Yeah.
And his name is Tim Mike Check, bro.
Oh, okay.
Tim Mike Check is a bad motherfucker, yo. I don't care what nobody says. Tim, you a bad motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And all you gotta keep doing what you're doing, believe in what you say, and that's one thing. And I love. And sometimes Tim get mad. That's what I like. I like when you get a little put your little attitude behind that, because Tim Mike Check is a bad motherfucker. His voice, his presence, his timing is tremendous, yo. He's gonna be something incredible. Nothing happened to him. He take care of that voice and spark it up. Don't be other than who you are. That's one thing, Tim. And that goes for the rest of y'all too. Don't try to be above what you are. Nothing wrong with being, ain't nothing wrong with, little things you can make a little better, do that for yourself, but don't overly become something you're not. And don't go out of your comfort zone to please nobody. Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, and you turn that mic off, and you go and look in the mirror, it's only you dealing with, man.
Okay. Yeah. So that's right. That's
Big shot to Cameron.
Jeffrey
Boy.
Banks. That's him, AKA the most electrifying.
Yes.
Hannibal.
Yes. JEFFREYBANKS. Mr. Jeffrey Banks, AKA Hannibal, the most electrifying boy. At a court near you.